Hello everyone and welcome to Prevent-A-Thon 6, a speedrunning charity marathon in support of Little Warriors. You are currently watching CPAT 6, bringing you the 10 p.m. nightly news here at Prevent-A-Thon. I hope you're ready for some amazing speedruns because we provide you uninterrupted coverage of speedruns, and more speedruns. Up next here, we have a featured programming from one of our sister channels over on Lycosina, the Moth planet, from our affiliate channel, Moth. I hope you're prepared for that, but in the meantime, I have something else very, very important to share for you directly from CPAT. We have an open incentive right now for Time Spinner, and if we meet that incentive, we will be able to see a boss randomizer. Now, folks, we still have quite a bit of ways to go for that, so I hope everyone is capable and willing to donate. If you type !donate in the chat right now, I'd love to see some of your donations and what you think about this amazing, amazing game. I hope you indulge me in that and think about it as you get some donations in while we hand it over to our affiliate channel here on Lycosina for it. So, without further ado, let's see that special broadcast over on Moth.
Good evening, ladybugs and gentlemen, and welcome to this Moth Planet News broadcast. I'm your news anchor, Turtle Run 2412, here today to bring you the big scoop. That's right, everyone, we have a stupendous story for you all today. Throughout the land of Lycosina, many moths have been reporting strange anomalies. These spooky dooky sightings have been located in the city, in the forest, and in the caves. Could these anomalies be the power of the Void? Stay tuned to find out as we send our top reporter Robin live into the field to interview the locals, photograph all 3 anomalies, and maybe even save the world. We'll send our camera crews live over to Robin here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And Robin is off on their journalistic journey. As you can see, Robin is a moth, and like all moths, Robin has the ability to fly just like this to avoid any obstacle in their way. Robin also has a camera strapped to their butt that they can use to interview the locals just like that. However, dear viewer, this is an any percent news story, and as such, we will only be interviewing those moths who are important for the big scoop. But Robin's camera can do this more than just interviews, dear viewer, for it can also have a brilliantly bright flash on the end of it. And that flash can be used to light up these news beacons. When a news beacon is lit, it will open up the path to more news on Robin's journey forward. So keep an eye out for those throughout this adventure. And we are already seeing Robin has some phenomenal flying skills that will let them zoom through any treacherous terrain. Robin has 3 forms of flying movement, being a high jump, a medium jump, and a low jump, all of which are useful in their own situations. Robin also has a downward dash that can be used if they need to fall very, very quickly. And what's most important of all is that Robin has a very, very high top speed. Once Robin gets going, nothing at all can stop them. Not even walls, for Robin is in fact a very, very bouncy type of moth. That means if they run into a wall, floor, or ceiling, they will not be harmed, and instead they will bounce off and continue on their merry journalistic journey. And all of that will be very important, as with these news beacons in this opening area lit, Robin can make their way into the city, where the first anomaly awaits. But the mayor is going to attempt to close the city gates to prevent the shameful anomaly from being seen. But Robin can sneak right through the gates, just like that, and photograph their first anomaly. Wow! It was the city well, which did look very spooky dooky for a moment there. Could it be the power of the Void? Robin will find out as they make their way into the next major area of this scoop, being the forest. And unlike the city, which was a safe place for moths, the forest has many dangers that Robin will need to navigate, like these red spiky spikes that you can see everywhere. Just one brush with them, and Robin will instantly die. So Robin must be very careful. But wait, what is this? Robin died and has returned? Could this be the power of the Void? Why, yes, dear viewers, yes it is! For not long ago, Robin had the very fortunate chance to interview the Void itself, and the Void was so impressed with Robin's journalistic integrity that it granted them this amazing respawning power, that they may go wherever they need in search of the truth without any fear of harm. How amazing! With that power and their foreknowledge, Robin can take a secret shortcut through the deep woods in order to get down into the underground lake and our next major area of this scoop, the caves. The caves are more dangerous even than the forest, with these bigger, longer, spiky spikes that Robin must avoid, as well as those glowing mushrooms you may have seen in the previous room. That bright red glow is in fact a poisonous spore from those mushrooms, and if moths like Robin inhale it, they will also die instantly. So Robin must be very careful to avoid not only the mushrooms, but also other infected moths. For when white moths become infected, they become carriers for the deadly disease. So Robin must avoid both the mushrooms and the moths and the spikes, but they are doing it with aplomb and making their way down to find this news beacon and the anomaly in the caves right down here. But Robin, you just ignored the anomaly. Gasp! Could this be journalistic malpractice? Don't you worry, dear viewers, for this is not journalistic malpractice. Robin must photograph that anomaly later, because there are two different news beacons at the end of the caves they must light up to continue this story. So they will be back much later on in order to find that anomaly again. In the meantime, they did skip past the anomaly in the forest with that secret shortcut. Conveniently enough, there is a backwards way in through this area, the quarantine zone, which Robin can sneak into and find their way straight over to the forest and that all-important anomaly they must photograph. Gee, I wonder what it could possibly be. And here it is. This anomaly is a giant cocoon! Wowie, wow, wow! That is so big! Who knows what sort of giant creature could be born from such a giant cocoon? Foreshadowing is a narrative device! But with that photograph taken, Robin can now make their way back into the caves and into the caved-in corridor to go find that second news beacon I mentioned earlier. And the caved-in corridor presents yet more dangers, for not only must Robin avoid the spikes, the moths, the mushrooms, but they must also avoid these crumbling rocks, which if we've learned anything from Pokemon, we know that bugs like Robin are very weak to rocks. But with the power of the void, Robin can make it through and even take a secret shortcut. I said a secret shortcut! There they go! And now, with that cleared, Robin makes her way to our sponsored segment of this news broadcast. Thank you to Tetris for sponsoring that segment of the news. And now back to Robin as they make their way back into the caves and find their way through this dangerous maze to light up yet another news beacon. With that one revealed, Robin can now begin to make their way to the anomaly that we saw earlier. Keen-eyed viewers who got a look at it when Robin sped on by might have noticed something very, very anomalous about that anomaly indeed. And that the anomaly is a statue depicting a strange creature with 8 legs. That's very anomalous. We'll see it here again, and yes, 8 legs on that statue. Whatever could it be depicting? Robin will find out as they head into the final area of this scoop, the Spooky Dookie Mansion. This mansion is the most dangerous area of them all, with spiky spikes that pop out of the floor when Robin is near, as well as these eyeballs which shoot fire to burn Robin to a crisp, and these cobwebs which will slow Robin immensely on contact. Whoever owns this mansion most certainly has a lot to hide, but that means Robin will need to try all the more hard to bring the truth to light for you, dear viewer. And so they make their way deeper and deeper into the east wing of the mansion, and pretty soon, Robin may even need to face down the ultimate defenders of the mansion themselves. We'll see if they can slip through this little tiny gate here, while this fiery eyeball repeatedly tries to burn them. But Robin does make it this time, and in the very next room, what will they find? A void eyeball! These void eyeballs, if they see Robin, will attempt to fire a laser at them, but the void eyeballs are very weak to the light after centuries in the void, and that means Robin's brilliantly bright camera flash can take them out just like that. With 3 news beacons defeated, Robin can fly up to find the big news beacon right over here. If our camera crew doesn't crash out on us, which hopefully they won't, Robin will be able to... Oh no, our camera crew was taken by the void! Oh no! We'll have our tech team get right on it as fast as possible! Hold tight, everyone! We'll be right back!
Hello there, dear viewers and everyone watching. Thank you for enjoying our broadcast here on Lycosina here on MOTH, our sister channel on Lycosina. We'll be back real shortly with our feature programming, but in the meantime, if you wouldn't mind typing !donates for us in the chat right now, we are supporting Little Warriors, a Canadian non-profit organization in support of children who have gone through sexual abuse and who are sexual abuse survivors. Thank you so much, and hello to all of the raiders who have come in so far. Thank you for stopping by to our channel to witness some featured programming and some amazing speedruns. We'll be back shortly with the run, so hang on tight, everyone. In the meantime, while we try to reconnect with our reporters out on the field, I'd like to give an update on some of our sponsored programming that we have coming up for you. We are $42 Canadian into our Time Spinner Boss Randomizer incentive. We have $58 more to go for that incentive, and we have just under an hour to finish that incentive. So folks, if you want to see some boss randomization in Time Spinner and witness how our runner will take care of all these random bosses appearing left and right and in areas they shouldn't be, I encourage you all to donate if you're able and willing to. Again, that's !donate in the chat. Thank you to everyone, to Lady Arcaders who's stopping by again. I hope you're here to enjoy some amazing speedruns and to support Prevent-A-Thon 6 and Little Warriors in general. Hello everyone, welcome back to Prevent-A-Thon 6, or should I say welcome back to CP8T, providing you some featured programming on some amazing speedruns here. We've got our camera crews back, live on the scene, so I think we're ready to hand it over back to Total Run.
Alright, we will reset the story here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Unfortunately, as it turns out, what is lost to the void stays lost forever, so we have to watch a quick replay of Robin's journey up to that point, as our camera crews are now back from the void, thank goodness. One might even say that that has never happened before, and it's live on air of all times, of course. But we will quickly get this replay going, and you can once again watch Robin blitz through all of these early story areas. There's no danger here from the void, we hope, so Robin can just light up every news beacon along the path they need and get back to the void to finish out their big scoop. Again, their movement is very, very fast and frenetic, so it shouldn't take too long at all, dear viewers. Hold on to your butts and your abdomens too if you have them, because we'll continue this story no matter what it takes. The truth will always deserve to come to light. If we do have any messages from on high while we watch this run back, Curry, please feel free to read them out.
We sure do have lots of messages from dear viewers like you who have supported independent broadcasting and reporting, so thank you all to those who have supported us thus far, such as TikTok Clock from Mario64 with $11, who says, from one famous video game timepiece to another, here's hoping for more Time Spitter. And $25 from M. Mona Mothison, who says, Mother, get me that Time Spitter boss randomizer. Thank you so much to all of you lovely viewers out there for supporting independent broadcasting and reporting. We accept any and all donations for our programming! Donate in the chat if you like to support us, Prevent-A-Thon, and Little Warriors in general. And if you want to see that Time Spitter incentive, now is the time to donate to see that boss randomizer. So thank you all for supporting us thus far.
Yes, indeed. I believe the only way to truly get back against the void is to give it our all and get that incentive met. Time Spinner is a phenomenal game. I know that Robin thinks so as well. They are truly a connoisseur of all things Metroidvania, or Moth-Troidvania, as it may be in this case. Ho ho ho! But we have already seen them get right on back to the deep woods. This area might be familiar to you as well, dear viewer, if you watched if you played The Legend of Zelda. Unfortunately, Robin is getting a little bit nervous after that earlier demise, and will need to take it back, remembering all of the training that they put in writing that article on the Lost Woods for Nintendo Power all those years ago. But they do remember the secret passcode needed. Hooray! And they can get back down into the caves. They will still need to find all of the anomalies and news beacons along the way, so the backtracking section through the caves will still be part of this re-recording. But hopefully things go very smoothly as they fly through all this dangerous area with no cares in the world. Their void respawning power will save them, even if it might take a little bit longer to get to the scoop they need. Yep. And don't worry about these moths that are infected, by the way. It is possible to cure them with a big dose of water. There isn't much water in the caves aside from the underground lake, but I'm sure that we will find a way to get these poor, sick creatures the help they so desperately need. Yep. And you can see that the Spooky Dookie Mansion, the power of the void has taken over so much, it's bleeding into the caves. Maybe one day it'll take over even more, but we'll have to see what Robin can find out about that on their journalistic journey here. But we're going to see them, once again, not commit journalistic malpractice. They will be back for that anomaly, as we saw before. They can even interview a couple extra folks along the way, now that we have time while waiting for these mushrooms on the replay. There are so many different moths to interview in this game. Unfortunately, for the Any Percent news story, I think we only interview like 4 of them. But there are 255 moths in total. The any percent or the 100% news scoop for this story is immense. What a traveling salesman problem! This interconnected world with so many wonderful individuals to interview. Well, that is a story for yet another day, because the any percent story just blitzes right past them and back to the photograph of the giant cocoon anomaly that we need. Right here. Again, that is so big. That's like 15 times Robin's height. Who knows? I can only imagine what a giant moth 15 times Robin's size would be like. Honestly, maybe a little bit like me. I am almost human-sized, believe it or not. It can be hard to tell on camera, but I in fact am. But these moth wiggler feelers will tell you, in fact, I am a proper moth, just like dear Robin here. So as we make our way back through this section of the caves again and into our sponsored Tetris segment, Curry, feel free to take it away with more words if you would like.
Don't mind if I do. If I should say, Little Warrior's vision is to be a unified movement across Canada and the world that finally ends child sexual abuse. Here at Prevent-A-Thon 6, we are 110% behind Little Warrior's mission. I hope you all join me in supporting Little Warrior's missions and efforts and programming. And thank you so much to everyone who donated so far. Looking forward to seeing all of your messages here for supporting Little Warriors and the run so far.
Yes, indeed, Little Warriors is an amazing charity. We must not let any children or whatever young moths are called. Are they maggots? I don't know if they're maggots or not. I don't remember my childhood. It's very weird. But I definitely had one, and I probably was, in fact, a maggot. And all maggots and children alike must be protected. For that is justice. And what is journalism if not bringing justice to light? Just what Little Warriors does in their world as well. So thank you very much to them for continuing the cause of justice. And Robin has made their way back to the third anomaly, the strange eight-legged statue, and can once again enter the void and find the spooky dooky mansion, which, like we mentioned earlier, is very dangerous, but you've already seen Robin start to fly through it. And once they get going, even the spiderwebs can't slow them down all that much. That's the power of a true speed journalist like Robin. So long as they keep their wits about them, they'll be able to get through anything. So here we are, back into the West Wing, down this spiraling staircase, which, as you can see, is one of the most dangerous areas, one of the most dangerous rooms in this entire mansion. And Robin not only has to navigate it the previous story, but also has to navigate it this story, and may even have to navigate it backwards later on. If our camera crew isn't lost again! Oh, this is terrible! Absolutely awful! We will have to find our camera crew once again and figure out what we're going to do to bring the scoop to you, which we will do, dear viewer, for the news will always come to light. Take a quick break, and we'll be right back once again.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to CPAT. I believe we've re-established connections with our MOT affiliate channel here, so we'll throw it back over to them to see what's on the up and up.
Hello once again, dear viewers. Unfortunately, we've had some tech troubles, and I've had to pull up some archived footage to show you that this spooky dookie room flooded with the power of the void is the end of the big scoop. If you want to see the full story for yourself, you may have to purchase a one-time subscription to Moth Planet on Steam for the full story. But you can also tune in at twitch.tv/TurtleRun2412 for more Moth Planet news broadcasts, as well as other silly games and Metroidvanias. But be sure to stay tuned to this channel as well, for we still have more Prevent-A-Thon content coming up after this, like Maquette, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, and Time Spinner. But that will be the end of today's Moth Planet news broadcast. I've been your news anchor, TurtleRun2412, and especially with all the tech troubles, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. This program was brought to you by Prevent-A-Thon, Little Warriors, Moth Fried Games, Mudkip Warrior, The Leech 1, Anne Hinkhouse, and viewers like you. Thank you for watching.